Hello everybody, welcome back to Formula for Speed. I'm your host Chad, and I'm with my other lovely co-hosts. Well, introduce yourself, please.
I am the baby face, the Mercedes fan, the Mercedes fan, and we just saw Monaco. And you are the McLaren fan.
Hey!
You are 50% happy, 50% sad.
Hey, whoa.
Well, we can talk about that.
Whoa.
We can talk about it as it comes up.
Guys, we're back. Monaco. Didn't have it last year. Babyface. How did you feel about Monaco being back on the schedule this year?
Oh, I was ecstatic. I mean, a Formula One season without Monaco doesn't feel right.
It's not right.
It doesn't sit right. And for those that perhaps have started watching Formula One recently, I like the way the one announcer introduced Monaco. She said it's the crown jewel of Formula One racing.
Right.
It truly is. It is the pinnacle. It's like if you win at Monaco, you can win the championship. You can win the constructors. The whole nine. Monaco is special.
It is.
And as a fan, it's special also to me watching it.
I mean, guys, let us know in the comments. How many of you actually like Monaco? Because you can be honest. Some babyface, what I've noticed, and I'm sure you guys have noticed, there are some fans that don't enjoy Monaco because it's not the fastest track. And there's not a lot of opportunity for passing. So a lot of times what you can do is, and you guys know this, babyface, you know this, you qualify well. If you can qualify well, you have most of the work done. The second part of it is strategy, of course.
Yeah.
But if you qualify well, to me, if you put on hard tires and park it the whole race,
yes,
for the most part, you win.
Frankly,
you know?
if you're a fan of overtaking, then Monaco's not the track.
But it's one of my favorite circuits on the schedule. Me personally,
it's one of also for myself. It doesn't feel right to me if Monaco is not on the race calendar. And also, I think Monaco as a spectator for me is the most nerve-wracking race for me to watch because there's so little margin for error. If you really think about all the other tracks, you can get dinged for going off the race track limits. You can end up in the gravel, you can spin out, but there's gravel, there's the side of the track, there's space for you to make mistakes in. Monaco, you make a mistake, you've wrecked your car, you've probably wrecked someone else in the process. There's a whole safety car. There's no margin for error. And now with the new views, which growing up, I didn't have that vantage point, but now where you can kind of ride along with the drivers, you just get to appreciate how close they get to the barriers and just how little room there really is. They cut one corner, next thing you know, they turn left, they have to turn right, and they have to maneuver that car just perfectly in between those barriers.
Yeah.
So from that aspect, it's a bit nerve-wracking to me, and it leaves me in awe every year because the level of skill required. I mean, you have to be insanely skilled to be able to drive a Formula One car anyways, on any track. But the level of skill required to maneuver that car through Monaco and the streets is special for me. So, I'm always happy to see Monaco.
I mean, it's one of my favorite tracks, and I found it interesting this year, guys. Ferrari, man, they had Leclerc on pole, and
I'm glad we talked about this last week.
And Sainz did well in qualifying as well. And if you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen, as well as you've seen qualifying. Leclerc ran very well in qualifying. Guys, he was on pole. Then all of a sudden it was a crash.
He crashed.
And I thought he damaged his gearbox pretty bad. And when I saw that, and guys let me know in the comments, when I saw that I said, well, he was on pole. If he has to get a new gearbox, 5 grid penalty. Right? It's a penalty. 5 grid slots down. Your race is pretty much done. Or you can gamble. They could gamble with the current gearbox, and you guys know this. Gamble with the current gearbox. At this time, I was thinking, hey, gamble with it because you don't want to lose pole. So just take it. He didn't even get to start the race.
No, he didn't.
They couldn't get the. I mean, and this is his home. I'm not a huge Ferrari fan, but this is his home Grand Prix. I like Leclerc. I also like Sainz. But I was hoping for, man, I just wanted to see a good race because I think him and Max, me personally, I was like, him and Max are going to have a great duel because the Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton, he was struggling for front grip all weekend. Guys, you saw that. Through all the practices, he was struggling. So when I saw it, I said, okay, Lewis is not going to be up front. I'm like, let's kind of see, let's go through qualifying. How can we make this? Bottas ran third. I said, so that's going to be interesting because him running third, he found pace. That setup they had for his car was great. So for all the conspiracy theorists against your team that Bottas is getting the shaft, nah, not at all. Not after watching this. Can't be. Norris running fifth behind the Ferrari. Magical pace team out of nowhere. I mean, I can't let it go. But you guys let me know how you feel about those first 5 slots. I mean, did you have that? Because I didn't. I did not have that. Honestly. Guys, let me know what you had.
I didn't see qualifying live. I saw it a couple of hours after the fact. And I think you remember me just opening up my phone and I got a notification. Yeah. And my exclamation when I realized that it said Leclerc was on pole.
Hey.
And I just said, what? How? And we just talked about this last week.
Let's talk about a Ferrari and the pace. Where did they get it?
Questioning where is
where
this
did they find it? I mean,
and so when I saw this, I of course then as soon as I could, I sat down and watched qualifying, and I really sat there just shaking my head, going, okay.
Guys, let us know. I mean, are we being too hard on Ferrari? I mean, let us know what you think about this pace they found so far from last season to this season. This car is starting to look more like the car in 19, but that car in 19, as well as you know, well, we already talked about that. I won't harp on it too much, but it's just some pace that I'm like, where is this? Whatever. So, on down the order, I'm looking at qualifying. I'm looking Gasly's running very well.
Gasly's having a great start to the season.
He's on that Red Bull package. Yeah. Same engine. So, good package. Hamilton's was running 7th. After that, Vettel, Perez, Giovinazzi, Ocon, my beloved.
Wait a minute. Vettel and Giovinazzi qualified very well.
They did. Gotta be honest with you guys. I could care less about that because I was looking at my other guy, Danny Rick, man. Guys, as you know, I've said this on many videos, even from the start. I've always been a McLaren fan. It's my favorite team. Babyface has been stating her concern since race 2 or 3 that she's worried about Danny Rick. And I'm telling her, you guys know this, maybe you don't. When a driver is new to a team, he has to get used to the car, the engineer. She's shaking her head like I told you. I was like, listen, in my head, I've seen this before. Babyface, you've seen this. You've seen it. When guys are new to a team, and I brought up all the examples of this year. Vettel, up to this race, was not doing that great. Okay. Alonso, not doing stellar. I don't count the 2 rookies, or the 3 rookies. So I've named Vettel, Alonso, Rick, Perez, Sainz. Guys have been racing for a while, new to teams. That Ferrari is now becoming a new rocket. Okay, cool. Perez is not doing the greatest because he was kind of called out by somebody at Red Bull for not performing up to snuff. That's okay. But like I said, he's new to the team. But Danny Rick qualified 12th. Guys, after that, I didn't really pay attention to quality because I just couldn't believe. I know he's struggling to find that car. You guys know it. Danny Rick's an excellent driver, but he's struggling to find to drive well in that car. He just can't. Babyface, he can't. I don't know. Guys, it was crazy. So, Babyface, on to the race. You guys can tell I'm flustered. I don't. But Norris.
You know we're gonna have to talk about this, right?
I knew you were gonna say that. Guys, I don't want to talk about it because I feel like it's still early on. It's still early, man. It's still.
All I'm saying is we're gonna have to talk about it.
All right. On to the race, Babyface.
On to the race.
How did you feel? Start of the race. Grid. The pole position was left blank.
Yes.
I say left blank. No one was there. That means Bottas had a clear shot.
Yes, Max started from
the inside. Yep.
But it was a great start. Max got off clean. He cut Valtteri off as he should have, frankly.
He should have.
And it was a great start at the beginning. Right. Everybody kept it clean. I was worried that we would perhaps have
surprised.
Yeah. You know, that somebody, especially
safety car or something.
Right, but I was also worried because we had so many rookies in the back. And they're all trying to squeeze through.
I just knew Nikita was gonna. Guys, maybe it's just me. I just knew Nikita was gonna have a crash. This race,
but he didn't. He didn't. It was a fantastic start, and once we got started, it was pretty straightforward for the first 30 laps.
About 30 laps, yeah, it was pretty straightforward. It was.
Lap 30, the pitting started.
Yeah.
Hamilton pits, 2.2 seconds for the hard tires.
Let's stop right there. I got a question for you guys. Answer me this. Hamilton was not struggling. Actually, he was one of the few that weren't struggling on those tires. Why did they bring him in so early? Why didn't they wait at least 4 to 5 more laps? I'm just wondering because it didn't make sense to me. I was like, he's one of the few not struggling. He never really struggles, but he can stay out longer. It'll bode better in the end for Mercedes for strategy purposes.
I have no idea. I don't have an answer for that. When I saw that, I wasn't lap 30. I really wasn't that alarmed. I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, something will work itself out.
I was going to be lap 34, 35.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, I will be honest. I wasn't alarmed by it. I just thought, oh, okay. We've started the pitting.
Okay, fair enough.
Lap 31. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, here comes Bottas.
This was, that was tough.
And Bottas came in, and 3 tires come off, and the right front didn't. And then it didn't again. And then they changed guns, and it still didn't come off. And you could just see the sparks flying.
Metal shards.
And you realize his race is now ruined because we've been in there for longer than 10 seconds.
Over.
And then you realize, no, they really can't get this thing off.
I realized, guys, and let me know in the comments, 2 things. Let us know, how did you feel about the front runners, the championship leaders, Mercedes pulling Lewis in at lap 30, maybe not lap 34, 35. Maybe it wasn't that big deal to you. But Babyface, me personally, when I saw they couldn't get that tire off, I was like, they threaded it's done.
Well,
they've cross-threaded. And I knew when I saw it live, I said, his race is done. He's not going to be able to go back out.
Well, yes. But still, the fact that he actually couldn't go back out.
That was crazy.
Because they never were able to get that tire off. So, lap 31, Valtteri out.
Done.
Retired. And at this point, frankly, I wasn't thinking about Hamilton. Hamilton wasn't even on my radar.
I figured you would say that.
I was just like, no, Bottas, he was running second. Running second. Why? My heart broke. And then...
Guys, let me know. Let us know in the comments how you felt about that.
Listen,
what you thought.
Lap 32. I'm still bleeding internally from the whole Bottas fiasco. I realized Vettel just came out in front of Hamilton, and that is when I realized...
Not only Hamilton, Gasly as well.
That is when I realized Hamilton is still out there somewhere.
He was baffled. Did you see his reaction? Guys, did you notice Lewis's reaction? He said, wait a minute. He said, he got a radio, basically, I'm paraphrasing, what happened? You know, I could have stayed out longer, and that's when they pulled him in. When they first pulled him in, I said, wait a minute, they could have kept him out a little longer. Maybe it's not big of a deal. When I seen Vettel pull that move and that pitch and his pit wall pulled him in when they did, I said, no, he's not only going to jump Lewis, he's going to jump Gasly as well.
And he did.
Sure did.
I will admit, after that,
You know where I think this came from? Guys, you know where I think this came from? They shouldn't have said nothing about Red Bull's back wing. Don't know what happened with y'all at Monaco. I don't know who you ate dinner with, but hey.
Speaking of leapfrogging, you know who was the king of leapfrogging?
Perez. Went from 8th to 4th.
Listen, you may not like Monaco because there's lack of overtaking, but the pit wall, this is the pit wall overtaking course, okay? The drivers themselves may not do the overtaking, the physical overtaking, but this is the
strategy is at this Grand Prix, strategy is paramount. And guys, if you watch past Monaco races, you know if the driver doesn't manage the tires right and the strategist on the pit wall don't get it right, your race is done. I felt that bad for Valtteri because, guys, if you've been watching Mercedes this year, they've not had the best pit stops.
No. My team has been struggling. Just like, and I've told you this, I feel that because Red Bull took it upon themselves to approach and poach several Mercedes engineers, I feel like Mercedes should approach and poach several pit crew members. Because if there's one thing that Red Bull gets right,
pit stops.
It's the pit stops. So yeah, I will admit, after that, when I saw Vettel just leapfrogging, and then I saw Perez just 4 entire places, I thought, my God, I'm in the Twilight Zone.
And when I saw him guys, for me personally, when I saw him get that kind of just jump, I looked at Norris and said, "Oh man, is he gonna catch him?" Because even though you could park your car, that Red Bull was very strong.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know if Norris will have the tires, but that's not what I was so happy Norris is running out front, guys. With one of the things that bothered me this race, with McLaren being my team, when Danny Rick started to get lapped.
So lap 52.
Yeah.
Talk about that lapping moment.
It's when Lando, guys, and I'm sure if you're not a McLaren fan, it probably wasn't that big of a deal to you. But for me, when you're new to a team and you're trying to fit in, you're trying to find a car, you're just trying to make it, right? Trying to perform well. Your teammate laps you and then waves. The wave wasn't malicious, guys. It wasn't malicious. But the point was, when he got lapped by Lando, at that point I said, babyface may have been correct. She's worried. Now I'm starting to get worried. But my only solace was last race, he finished better than Lando, which I believe he had to do. So that means in Baku he must, and it's another street circuit, which means your team's probably going to struggle again. Hate to tell you that, but they probably will. Maybe not. They may find something over the next week. I don't know what Danny Rick's. I don't know. Worried about him, but we're going to save that for Let's Talk About It, babyface. We rarely talk about my boys because I try to keep. Listen, my boys are just, to me, the best. But I can't skate this one. I can't slap ass this one. I got to talk about it. So that hurt me. I was disinterested after that. I said, but I had to hold out hope for Lando, which he did very, very well. 3rd in the championship standings now, babyface.
Yes.
third.
And he finished on the podium.
And for me, I said, yeah, and he finished with good old Carlos, which is good. But again, that the Ferrari with this mysterious power. It was interesting. And I'm looking at the standings now. I'm going down the list, and Albon finished well. Stroll, solid. Giovinazzi, solid drive in the points. Rick, 12th. Alonso, he's struggling. He's another one.
Alonso is struggling, but Gasly is having a fantastic season.
He is. Fantastic. I mean, Russell, solid 14th. And Tsunoda, he tried. He stand that hard tire. They gambled. And they were hoping for a safety car. Didn't work out. So that's strategy on their part. Of course, then the two Haas's.
Nikita actually moved out of the way when the blue flags came. I was happy about that.
And he finished ahead of Mick, which I don't think really matters. But, guys, for me, that Grand Prix was interesting. I was happy. Babyface, I was happy Lando had third. Now he's third in the chip. Who could ask for more? I am feeling for Danny Rick, though, because he's one of my favorite drivers on the grid, and he's on my team. So, for me, I was like, this is good. But, I don't know. You guys let me know. Have you ever been torn? Like, I'm sure you are torn at times. What's rare for you Mercedes fans. Outside of Lewis and Bottas finishing 1 and 2, like normal, because that team is that good. For me, this was tough. When he got lapped, that's what did it for me. I was like, oh man, come.
Well, don't say that. This race was tough for me. My team just completely ruined. There's so many things they ruined. They ruined the friggin' pit stop for Valtteri. Granted, there was nothing they could do about that. But they ruined Lewis's strategy. They couldn't get his car right. My team just, they just said Monaco, crown jewel. Well, we're just gonna throw Monaco to the wind. We don't care. I mean, my team just didn't show up today.
I'm not worried. The crazy part, guys, Mercedes is gonna bounce back. McLaren's actually doing well. I'm worried about one driver, though, and that's Rick. I'm worried about him because he is struggling to find that car, and it's not suiting his driving style to me, guys. Let me know what you think, any Danny Rick and McLaren fans, fellow Danny Rick and fellow McLaren fans. To me, his driving style is not suiting that car. So, guys, let me know in the comments. To me, fellow McLaren, fellow Danny Rick fans, Babyface, let me know what you think. I feel like he may be overthinking, maybe over-adjusting, but I don't want to get in too deep because we're going to save that for let's talk about it. But overall, I was happy. Lando's on the podium. Guys, third in the chip, and I was happy. Vettel, driver of the day? How did you feel about that?
I could see that.
Give it to him. Frankly, give it to him. Give it to Seb.
That's fine, but if you're going to call him the driver of the day, I don't think Seb did anything extraordinary. I think it's the team that really pulled that one off by putting him in front of Gasly and Hamilton. I don't think that's any of Seb's doing. It's like saying Perez driver of the day. That wasn't Perez's driving that put him in fourth from 8th. It was the team and the strategy that leapfrogged him forward. Like, if it was any other track and he overtook, 4 spots, that'd be different. So, yeah, I'll let him have it. I'm not mad about it. I will say, I told you as I was watching the race, I'm happy to see Vettel up in the single-digit positions. Like, I saw him in 5th and I thought, well, there's a last name I haven't seen in that place in a while. But okay. He's driver of the day.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Oh, please do.
I'm going to tell you something. And guys, you let me know in the comments how you feel. Do you have any idea, even at Monaco, how hard it is to park that now Aston Martin in front of a much faster AlphaTauri and even on a struggling day for Mercedes, how hard it is to park that car.
Listen, it's hard.
And hold off. Gasly and Hamilton, that's driver of the day, guys, for me. Vettel, driver of the day. Can't even be close. There's no one better.
Okay, well, can't you then argue that Lando Norris should get driver of the day for holding off Perez, and Verstappen should get driver of the day for holding up everybody else behind him?
Actually, I like that argument by Lando. I do. I appreciate that.
Of course you like that argument.
Now that you bring that up,
I'll let him have it. But I think if you're going to give Vettel driver of the day, it really should be team of the day.
Listen, guys, I was happy for Seb. More happy for Lando, though. Perez did come close. He did.
He did.
He was, man, that was the most fortunate driver on the grid today.
Yes.
Perez, the most fortunate. So, guys, again, we enjoyed this Grand Prix. I'm sure you all did. Hopefully, you all did. Monaco's back. There were fans in the stands. I mean, it's getting back to normal. So it was good to see. So, guys, let us know in the comments what you thought about this Grand Prix. Bottas, I feel for him. I will say that, because that was no one's fault. The gun messed up. And they're not the only team. Mercedes is not the only team that's happened to this season about the guns. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who you guys. It's just a mishap. I'll say that. So, guys, I enjoyed the race. I
still enjoyed it, even though cool. My team suffered and my soul bled for Bottas. I still enjoyed the race because, let's face it, I was happy for Lando at the front. I was baffled and intrigued all at the same time with Vettel, Perez. I was watching Gasly. So yeah, calling out. I realized, they're nowhere near the front. They're actually the two last ones. But I actually was kind of doing my little happy dance when I saw Mick overtake Mazepin in the first.
Hey,
that was a nice tight squeeze. Nice. I was like, ha ha!
That was nice. That was nice pass.
Jeans are in there.
That was good to see. I was happy to see that. So
I still enjoyed it, even though my team completely blundered this one. But I still loved seeing the race.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm happy you enjoyed it, guys. We enjoyed it. Let us know how you felt about this Grand Prix. The next video, we're going to have to do a let's talk about it.
Yes, we're going to have to talk about Danny Rick.
I'm not looking forward to this one. Guys, I got to be honest with you.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to have to talk about it. Yeah. So, like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comments how you felt about the Grand Prix, who your teams are, how you felt about the results. And we'll see you on the next video of Let's Talk About It McLaren. Mainly Danny Rick. So, Babyface, any closing remarks?
Goodbye.
Guys, we'll see you next race.